Hey there, welcome to London, England. It is Tuesday, July 16th, 3:36 p.m. is the time, and the temperature is around 21 degrees Celsius, and I am here at Soho Square. And I won't lie to you, I didn't know this even existed about 5 minutes ago. This is my first time ever in London, and this would be my second full day here. But for this one, we're gonna try to knock off some popular tourist destinations. What we'll do is we'll head up to Oxford Street, which is a high street. That's where they do a lot of shopping, and then I'll try to make my way down to Leicester Square and Piccadilly Circus, possibly to Trafalgar Square. And I think we'll be pretty near the Elizabeth Tower, which features Big Ben from there. Not sure if I'll get that far on this one. So this should be Oxford Street, just up ahead. And please don't mistake this for any type of informative guided tour of London or anything. But I'm happy to offer up my impressions and observations. I'm certain there's far better videos online to tour this city with. This is kind of the perspective of a first-time tourist. So this is Oxford Street. And as the name of that square where I started implies, this is Soho, an area of Westminster. I think there's a popular department store across the street, Primark. And this appears to be a one-way street. Best money conversion. I brought Canadian with me, but I haven't used physical money at all in my first few days here. Everywhere has accepted tap pay, including the subway. There's a double-decker bus. I've yet to try one of those. But if you ride the subway and stick to what they call Zone 1 and 2, your fare will max out once you've gone over, I think, £8.70, which is about $14 Canadian. Which is a pretty good deal. And there's that iconic underground sign indicating the metro, or subway as they call it here. And this should be Tottenham Cross Station, or Tottenham Court Station, just on the right. That's on the newly opened Elizabeth line. I was in there last night, but I'm not familiar with this entrance. And this area is known for its theater and entertainment. This is part of the famous West End, rivaled by only Broadway in New York City in terms of English-speaking theater. And interestingly enough, the third biggest English-speaking theater city in the world is Toronto. And you'll notice bike shares and e-scooter shares are absolutely everywhere here. And those skies are kind of gray and ominous ahead. It rained for most of yesterday. And there are theaters everywhere. That is Soho Place. This is the original Soho. Although I think a lot of Westerners think of New York City when they think of Soho. And despite there being signs over the subway and the fact that people drive on the left saying keep left, people just seem to walk wherever they please. I think that just might be a product of there being so many tourists here.
So I think it's like a big wall in the toilet.
So I just kind of picked the path of least resistance. I'm staying up in Paddington, which is about 20 minutes by a number of different subway lines from here. There's a TJ Maxx. I've seen more US chains in this area than anywhere else. And between here and Leicester Square, I think sits Chinatown. I might try to pass through there. Stranger Things, the first shadow, right next to a Chipotle. This is the first walking video of London I've recorded. Yesterday I recorded one heading up to the Sky Garden. Then I had really bad luck. I recorded a riverboat cruise, but my camera was out of focus the whole time. So I don't think I can use that video. I paid £19 for the cruise, and it sucks because the audio came out really good. Maybe I'll put that one up on the Johnny Stumbles channel. I also have run into a problem where my S24 Ultra here won't charge. The Montague Pike. I've had a couple of traditional English breakfasts in my first 2 mornings here. Last night I had some kind of steak and ale pie that was quite excellent. And it's a very cosmopolitan city like Toronto, and it's more known for its international food and the local staples. I believe this street here is Charing Cross. Feel free to correct me down in the comments. And I've heard these photo booths can make for great photo opportunities, but do not go in them. Apparently they smell very much like a urinal. And this theater here features Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. All right, so Leicester Square and Trafalgar Square straight ahead. Chinatown, Piccadilly Circus to the right. I might be doing this in the wrong order. I'm trying to do this without looking at Google Maps. And my advice, if you're crossing the street, just look both ways a couple of times before you cross. They do drive on the left here, so your instincts, if you're from a right-hand drive country, will be a little bit in cahoots.
Look at you lot thinking that you're mad.
And I'm certain I've walked past a number
The hardest thing to
of notable buildings and establishments without mentioning them.
do any of the free ones.
Again, I don't claim to be a tour guide. Hey, there's the Agatha Christie's Mousetrap playing in its 72nd year down there. I saw the Mousetrap in Toronto when I was a school kid.
Is we getting? That's it all.
That store is called the House of Spells. Harry Potter inspired, maybe? I am going to see a play tonight. I think it's called 222. That's really all I know about it. It's at a theater in this area. Boonship. Tottenham Court Road. Maybe that's the name of this street. There's the Danish bakery on the right. Wing Chimek, a Korean fried chicken spot. That'll lead you into Chinatown. Leicester Square Station. All right, let's cut through Chinatown here. Chinese tapas house. So we are just on the border of Soho now. There's bubble tea. I think I read this was formerly the Limehouse area of London. The Hippodrome Casino. Greedy sheep, noodles and dumplings.
The guy next to me. Crash shit.
Why can't Toronto have nice pedestrianized streets like this? As far as major cities in Europe I've been to recently, there's been Amsterdam, Paris, Barcelona, and now London. And I'll be going to a few more on this trip, but they've all been immensely more walkable than just about any North American city I can remember. And as for prices dining out, I think it's pretty much on par with Toronto. Most places you don't tip. Some have a built-in gratuity, and some do prompt you to tip, and I think the standard is around 10%. And I think Leicester Square is just down here, right next to the Prince Charles Cinema. But the price you see is the price you pay. So when you factor in, we have to add a tax and tip to it. I think dining out is comparably expensive. And hot pot. There's a potential copyright violation. But welcome to Leicester Square, dotted by theaters and cinemas and buskers. And I've heard there's a Paddington Bear in here, along with Charlie Chaplin and some other famous figures, kind of playing into the whole theatrical area. Let's see if we can spot them. That would be William Shakespeare on top of that statue. Or I guess he is the statue, but look at this, it is Paddington. Found him. I don't want to get too close, as there's people there. There's Charlie Chaplin, I believe. Pretty unmistakable. They say London is absolutely huge, but in this area there's a whole lot you can see, obviously, on foot. I'm just kind of motoring through here, but this is an extremely walkable, friendly city. That's got to be Mary Poppins. Look at the lineup for the Lego store. What's this guy doing? I think that's a tour guide. Just kind of soaking it all in. This is pretty incredible. So this area is known for its cinemas, theaters, and nightclubs. Oh, there's gates into Chinatown. So we've left the pedestrian-friendly zone, or I guess pedestrianized area. Shake Shack, one of those just opened at Dundas Square. And speaking of Dundas Square, people often compare it to Times Square or Trafalgar Square, but really I think it's more like this place coming up, which I did see last night. And that is Piccadilly Square, or rather Piccadilly Circus. I can't imagine the outrage here if they renamed it something as stupid as Sankofa. I guess they'd probably just burn it down. That would be worthy of burning down the parliament in these parts. Because Air Canada had me arriving 8 hours late, more than 8 hours late, I didn't get to see all of England versus Spain. I just caught the final few minutes of it. I was hoping to catch the whole game in a pub, but there were a lot of people out and a lot of disappointed and sad fans of the English national team. And it wouldn't be England without a little rain. Here I am with no umbrella. I'm sure that would cost me an arm and a leg. In a touristy area like this, but I might need one just to finish recording. Using my Galaxy S24 to shield my phone. And here's Piccadilly Circus. I believe circus means circle. And you can head down to the really old Bakerloo line. That'll connect you to where I'm staying, Paddington Station, the Piccadilly line as well down there. There's a theater. Looks like this busker is packing up. These showers are quite common in London, but Piccadilly Circus is a junction that was built back in 1819. There's a subway underneath standing, or right where I'm standing. There's a number of nearby attractions and notable areas. Chinatown, Soho, Leicester Square, areas we've covered. And oh my, I was going to head down to Trafalgar Square, but let's dip down into the subway here. All right. I checked the forecast before I headed out, and it said there was like a 20% chance of rain at 5 p.m. It is 4 p.m. Shop Express. camera seems to be holding up pretty well. I imagine any place selling a brawly, as they call it. Gonna do quite well when this happens. That'll lead you out to Shaftesbury Avenue. I think that was the street where we just were. There's ticket machines. I've just been tapping as I go. So that'll lead us back up to the square. I wonder how many of these people are just taking cover.
Customs announcement. Due to wet weather, please take extra caution when moving around the station.
Due to wet weather, please take extra caution when moving around. Hey, they got toilets here. I think it's 91 pence, they call it, to use them. I didn't want to put my camera in there. There was people waiting. Oh, I see umbrellas still in use. That guy was trying to talk to me. Oh, it's not raining that bad. We have emerged. Let's see. Trafalgar Square to here. It is 8 minutes away. Guys trying to sell umbrellas. I think I want to go straight and then make a right at the next one. Oh, it's still raining now. We're kicked up again. Come on, rain, be done with it. I don't have any British pounds. I would have to buy from a store that accepts tap. Ooh. Something was going on with the frequency there. I see a monument straight ahead. But my phone is telling me to go this way. Oh, isn't this the most British experience ever? I'm gonna wipe my camera lens off just in case. There's a Tesco. They probably sell brollies. Do I know where I am? Not really. And you'll notice there's people in shorts and t-shirts, people in pants and warm coats. And as for data, I downloaded an app called MobiMatter, and I popped an eSIM, a 30 gig called Best Europe eSIM. That has worked really well, and that was $40 Canadian. So if you have a phone that accepts eSIMs, I think that's an easy way to do it. I'm also going to another country. Shoryu ramen. So apparently if I cross to the left here, this is the best way to get to Trafalgar Square. Well, there's Theatre Royal Haymarket. Let's be a little badass and jaywalk. That's one thing I've noticed the locals do without hesitating. The Royal Opera Arcade on the right. Home of Phantom of the Opera. At Her Majesty's Theatre in 1705. The first of 4 theatres on this site was built. Looks like this current one opened in 1897. There's another Grand Theatre. One thing, theater tickets are cheaper here than in Toronto, but I think that's just by virtue of there being so many options. That says the best West End show of all time. This part feels just like Toronto. It's a spitting image of it. Oh, there's some grand old building straight ahead. I think that's part of Trafalgar Square. And is that the Canadian embassy? I'm thinking of doing a live stream. Let me do a little speed test. That looks like some embassies up that way. Oh, Canada, indeed. There's a Canadian-themed pub, I think, in this area. There's the National Gallery. A lot of the big galleries and museums here are free. So do take advantage of that when you're here, if you're into that stuff. That's the Canada House. Pretty prominent location. And welcome to Trafalgar Square. Well, these people are lined up, I believe, to get into the National Gallery. Pretty good speeds, 41 up. That's more than enough to live stream from. But we can see the London Eye over there. That's down by the River Thames. This was established in the 19th century. It was formerly known as Charing Cross, and it commemorates the great naval battle of Trafalgar. So we've seen Soho Square, Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus, and Trafalgar Square. Maybe I'll head down and do Westminster and the Elizabeth Tower in a future video. I believe these are the Three Lions. That's often what they call the British National Football Club or the English National Club. I wonder if there's a fourth lion. So I always hear the term Three Lions. Oh, there's four here. So that's probably unrelated. But I think we're gonna wrap up this partially rainy walk around London. Let's see about doing a live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support what I do on YouTube, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing down below if you wish to say thanks that way. It's quite the sight here. To Major General Sir Henry Havelock and his brave companions in arms during the campaign in India. Don't worry, sir, you will soon be replaced by a Sankofa statue. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Yoink.